It's Wednesday. We're going to talk about your money. And believe it or not, September is typically the baby boom month of the year. And as every parent knows, that little bundle of joy is not cheap. According to the latest cost of raising a child report, that's actually a thing and it's released by the federal government, the average middle income family can spend nearly $14,000 on child-related expenses every single year. Chew on that. So today, on Your Money, our guest is going to break down some spending mistakes new parents make and how to avoid them. Please welcome back to the show consumer finance expert Andrea Warrock. Hello.
Hi, thank you so much for having me on today.
We love when you come back because you help us understand finances in a very digestible way, so that we can feel better about this. So first money mistake you say that new parents make is thinking they need to go big right away. Hazel and I were saying when we had our firstborns, we completely went over the top with a stroller.
Oh, yes.
And then I was broke for everything else.
Yeah, well, I think just even starting with the basics, a lot of parents or parents-to-be think they need to move into a bigger apartment, buy a bigger house, buy a bigger car. But this adds an unnecessary financial burden during an already stressful time. So I always recommend just stick with what you have right now and adjust to the new lifestyle, adjust to the new expenses. There's going to be a lot of unexpected costs that come in before you take on these bigger expenses. And even the pediatricians say that babies should stay in your room for up to 6 months or 6 months and up to a year. So you have plenty of time before having to move in and get a nursery for your baby. Now, this is one area though that you might need a bigger car. I had to actually get a bigger car because the infant car seat wouldn't allow that front passenger seat to go back, and my husband's 6'5". So if you do need a bigger car, consider other ways to cut the cost. Look at used cars and consider which cars costs come with a higher car insurance. So you can save by comparing car insurance rates at sites like the Zebra, and then this will give you more money to put towards that car payment.
I love this. I'm also still stuck on your husband being 6'5", but we'll get to that later on. Okay, the second thing on your list to help avoid going broke as a new parent is overbuying baby gear and clothing. That's a big mistake.
Right. There are so many gadgets out there these days that baby brands want you to think is going to make your life easier. It's going to help care for your infant. But a lot of these things are expensive. You know, there's a swing, a bouncy seat. You know, there's so many different gadgets out there and they only get used for a few months and you don't know what your child's going to like. So I know a lot of parents who said they didn't even use these things that they bought. So better is to borrow from friends and family and don't even load them up onto your baby register. Choose 1 or 2 items, and instead loved ones can then, you know, buy you diapers, things you actually need.
Right.
And there are actually sites where you can rent some of those more expensive items like rentsforbaby.com or babyquip.com. And then of course there are some things like you said, a stroller. You don't want to necessarily cut back on in those areas because a stroller is important. You want to make sure that it's lightweight or comfortable to push, and also a car seat. So in those instances, you want to look for deals. You can go to sites like couponcabin.com to find coupons. You can go to sites like OfferUp and look to see if you can find some used options.
Tons of them out there. Hazel was smarter than I. She used her stroller later in life as a carriage to go grocery shopping, which I wish.
I love that idea.
Repurpose it. Right? The next money mistake, it's serious, but it actually protects the future of your child. Parents who ignore the what ifs. What do you mean by that?
No one wants to talk about death when you bring a baby home, but you have to have these tough talks, and preparing ahead is essential. Now you have somebody who relies on you financially. What would happen if you or your partner passed away and couldn't provide for the family? Who would pay those bills? And in this instance, buying a term life insurance policy is crucial when you have a baby. Now you can go to sites like ladderlife.com. They have an online life insurance calculator. So this will help you figure out how much life insurance to purchase, because you don't necessarily want to buy too much because that will just be a waste of money. And what's cool about them is they allow you to change your coverage as your financial needs change. So you don't have to buy too much right away.
Yeah, I remember doing that.
And then,
Literally, as I was going into labor, I was like, I need some life insurance because I don't
yeah,
know
and
what's
then
going to happen
also
here.
really quickly, another important one that I didn't want to miss is appointing a legal guardian. This is something a lot of people put off because they don't, want to figure out, or they feel a lot of pressure on figuring out who would have to care for their children if both parents passed away. But you can go online, sites like trustandwill.com. You can set up the legal guardianship for just 39 bucks, or even set up your will. And then you can even print all your legal documents right from home. So it's something you can do in a matter of minutes, and then you have peace of mind. Everything is taken care of.
Fantastic. The last two things, don't underestimate childcare and don't underestimate how much college costs.
Two big ones. So really quickly, when parents are trying to figure out which childcare option makes sense for them, they might budget for daycare or maybe an at-home nanny. But what happens if your child gets sick and can't go to daycare? Now you have to pay more for someone to come to your home, or you miss out of work. What happens if you have to get a babysitter for nights and weekends? So this could really bust your budget. Some ways to save: maybe set up a nanny share with another family who has kids around the same age. I've done this and it's helped
Me too.
save dramatically. And then also consider a babysitter co-op. So you can go to a site like sittingaround.com to find families where you can exchange babysitting services, or ask family and friends. Maybe once a month you kind of swap babysitting care. And then just really quickly about the college planning, don't put it off. The sooner you start saving, the less you have to put away every month. And then just ask family and friends, ask grandparents to contribute to that 529 college savings plan, instead of buying a ton of toys and gifts that are going to ultimately collect dust in the closet.
I love it. I told the boys for Christmas they will ask Grandma for money for college. Andrea, it
Yeah,
was
or
always,
a portion. Why
portion.
not a little bit for college and then just one toy instead of 5 toys?
I like the way you're thinking. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much. And for those of you
so much for
watching at
having
home,
me.
if you want more money saving tips, check out Andrea's website on her or follow her social media. Both are listed right there on the bottom of the screen. Thank you so much. Chock full of information. Whether you have kids, plan on having kids, know someone who's having kids. That life insurance thing, by the way, my sister, I will never forget. She and my brother-in-law were taking their first trip with their 4 kids, and she's like, I made you their guardian. I said, are you two planning on taking separate flights? Because I cannot inherit 4 kids right now. And she never changed it. So now, every time they go somewhere, I'm like, oh my God.
Right.
I know. I'm guilty of a couple of those things. I overspent
I know.
on things you don't need, like bottle warmers. Just stick it in a pot of boiling water.
Or get them used to drinking the milk cold.
Yeah.